Hello everyone, welcome to Finance Wisdom. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 simple guides in living below your means. If you are new to this channel, do like and subscribe to the channel. It was also difficult for me until I was shown these 5 methods, which I will share with you today. I just had a talk with a buddy who is struggling with his money and living below his means. We discussed it for a while, and it turned out to be an issue I'd observed before with others. I showed with him a method for regaining control of his money and solving the situation, which we will also address in the video today. It is, by the way, the most serious difficulty that individuals face when they fail to live within their means. And if this problem is not addressed, achieving one's financial objectives becomes very difficult. But first, a little background. We're the Finance Wisdom, and on this channel, we educate industrious people like you how to make the most out of their money by telling you how to utilize it effectively. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. And now let's get started. Now, before we get into the 5 methods of living within your means, let's define what it means to live within your means. Living below your means just means not living paycheck to paycheck any longer. Living below your means simply means not living paycheck to paycheck any longer. But why are so many people having trouble with it? We'll get to it when we come to the 5 methods to live within your means. However, why are you doing all of this in the first place? You most likely desire to achieve your financial objectives, whatever they may be. But have you considered the other advantages of spending less than you earn? It allows you to live a more stress-free life, have greater work flexibility, and achieve financial independence if that is your aim. Whatever your aim or desire, it all begins with living within your means, taking charge of your finances, and saving money, which is exactly what we're working on right now. Method 1. Maintain a record of your income and expenses. The first method is to keep track of your income and spending. This is and must be the first step in determining your position. Are you living on a budget, within a budget, or over a budget? To do so, you must first have a clear picture of your current financial status. Since many people grossly underestimate their monthly spending, how are you going to do that? With the issue of 3 simple steps, it's simple. 1. Keep track of all of your earnings and spending in one spot. Many of you have various bank accounts or credit cards where money is deposited and withdrawn on a monthly basis. It's all too easy to lose track of your spending, and you'll soon discover that 1 or 2 invoices have vanished from your list. As a result, it's a good idea to keep track of all your income and spending in one spot. There are numerous options for doing so. You may use a service like Mint to make your job simpler. You can do it yourself for free using your own spreadsheet. Whatever method you choose, make a list of your entire income and total spending. You may begin classifying your expenditures such as rent, power, internet, and living expenses, and determining which expenses are constant and which are changeable. 2. Check how much money you have left after all of your expenditures. Is there any money left over at the end of the month? Does it add up? Or do you end up paying out more than you take in? Please bear in mind that even if everything adds up perfectly, you may still be in danger. Unexpected costs might always arise, which, by the way, are the ones that lead to financial devastation and debt for the majority of individuals. 3. Begin tracking your spending on a monthly basis. The third step is to keep track of your spending on a monthly basis and put it in your tracking system. With this, you may have a better idea of which unneeded expenses you can cut, as well as prevent impulsive purchases and rethink them if they do occur, since you'll have to include them in your monthly payment eventually. You've laid the groundwork if you've followed these steps. We'll keep talking about how you can better manage your money and prepare for your financial objectives. Method 2. Create a budget. The second option is to make a budget. Making a budget is the most critical step to stopping living paycheck to paycheck, obtaining financial stability, and achieving your financial objectives. You've put your income and spending in a location where you can keep track of them and monitor them. So most of it should be done by now. Before I forget, your total income should include all sources of income, such as child support and tax returns. But if you want to achieve your financial objectives, what the sense of keeping track of everything with nothing at first, which is why it's critical to rearrange your budget so that you can live within your means and achieve your financial objectives with the money you save. Making a percentage budget is the simplest method to achieve this. You're undoubtedly familiar with the 50-30-20 budget, which allocates 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt reduction. This distribution is fine in and of itself, but it is seldom unique, which is why I urge that you alter the percentages to reflect your person's circumstances and future goals. I'm sorry, but I can't assist you with that right now. You'll have to sit down and think about it and come up with a budget that works for you. Maybe in the future, I'll offer something similar, a course that looks at you, your status, and where you want to go, and then help you establish a clear strategy to achieve your financial objectives. If you'd want to do something similar and believe it would be beneficial to you, I'll give you an example of how I create my budget. Considering the following, I've kept the 50% needs intact, but I've allocated 30% to savings in investments and 20% to my wants. The 30% invested and saved is divided as follows: 10% savings, 5 retirement savings, and 20% in my investment portfolio. Method 3. Change your money mindset. Remember how I said earlier that I had a chat with a buddy about his financial situation and how I showed him a technique that changed everything for him? That is precisely what is going on right now. The most serious issue is that there is a lack of information approaches for achieving financial success. The most serious issue is inside ourselves, in our heads, and in our thinking. The issue is that we don't always do the correct things. But why do we do it in the first place? To explain why, I'd probably need an entire weekend, but here's a quick rundown. Our ego wants to keep us in our familiar surroundings and protect us from the new. It's a primordial drive, and it's also why we have a hard time letting go of old patterns and forming new ones in the form of habits. But how can you shift your mentality so that you can form excellent financial habits? Making the choice to be financially successful is the first step. Does it seem too simple? Then I ask you, if you have any particular financial objectives. If you don't, you haven't made the decision to be financially successful. Set clear and defined objectives for yourself and include them in your budget to define what financial success means to you. Set specific objectives for yourself and resolve to be financially successful. And you'll be living within your means in no time. Improve your financial status immediately. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Method 4. Cut back on expenses. The fourth approach to living within your means is to cut costs, which is now quite simple once you've tracked your spending, created a budget, and can see everything at a glance. When you're looking at your spending, ask yourself, what are the useless or superfluous expenses? Or, do I really need that? There are a few places where you can definitely save money and cut costs. Memberships, automobiles, food and beverages, and clothing are just a few examples. There are a few more options, but ultimately, the decision is yours. If you're not sure whether costs are meaningless or unneeded for you, consider your values in life and then ask yourself if this expense is consistent with those values. As an example, investment is a significant part of my life and a big interest of mine. Therefore, I try to save money on things like clothing so that I may invest it later. Method 5. Pay less interest to clear debt. The fifth option is to reduce your interest payments and eliminate your debt. As we covered before, debt is the worst thing that can happen to your income and financial status, making it almost hard to live within your means, which, as we covered before, has a lot of benefits. The interest you must pay each month decreases the amount of money you get each month, lowering the gap between income and costs. However, whether it is an increase in income or a decrease in costs, we want the difference to be greater. So, how exactly you can get rid of your debts and lower your interest payments? I've got 3 ideas for you. 1. Consolidate your debt. When you refinance your obligations, you combine your present loans and swap them for a loan with reduced interest rates, resulting in lower monthly payments. There are various suppliers for this, but your bank may also help. 2. 50-50 rule. The 50-50 rule states that if your income improves and you get a bonus, you should utilize half of the money to pay down your obligations rather than spending it all. As an example, if you get a $3,000 bonus at work, you would spend $1,500 of it for debt reduction and the rest for personal expenses. 3. Budgeting is the third tip. If you like the video and want to learn more about how to improve your finances, visit our YouTube channel where you'll find additional films and tools to assist you. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something from this video. If you like this video, do give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Thank you and goodbye.